Market conditions majority bullish. S&P futures 14-0, flat this morning, down just slightly, and continuing this overall pattern of kind of this tight consolidation, some compression here towards the upper end of this high that we are experiencing here in the market. We've got the breadth of the market sitting at 64%. The number of stocks in the S&P above the 50-day moving average, that's majority bullish, compressed but starting to expand. We'll see if we do get a breakout, if that'll push us back towards that 80 range to create a little bit more of an extreme location where there could be a higher probability of a significant reversal at that point. VIX is relatively quiet this morning and yesterday, 1450, hovering below that 15 range, and majority bearish in that overall downtrend as volatility has been quiet. Market's kind of complacent right now. No greed or fear at this point. We saw S&P 500 close out at 14-0. On the daily, 14-0 on the weekly time frame as well. Dow Jones Industrial Average breaking out of that demand block, still continuing to hold that upper range around that 452 area. Still bullish pattern. Again, our risk is the expansion of the trend, just the top end of this trend, but still quite bullish conditions overall in terms of price activity. We're seeing triple Qs get a little bit more strength here, move back into momentum, some compression as we've been consolidating here in tech, and things are getting expanded as well. This still, as things are feeling quite calm and quite boring, those are areas, those are times to make adjustments. If you feel like you're maybe taking too much risk, or you would like to move some risk out of equities back into cash, these are the times to be able to do that, versus once we start getting some kind of news that does turn the market to the downside. Things are pretty frothy right here, and just be aware that yes, we do have new technology, yes, we do have a lot of productivity, yes, we have all of the things that we want to say it's different this time, but it's never different. Okay, it's always going to be these supply demand driven thesis, and ultimately it's going to be earnings. So if we're continuing to see that, then markets may continue to rise. Economic conditions, relatively, the overall conditions are still quite good for economic growth. Interest rates they're elevated relative to where they have been over the last 10 years, but they're certainly not out of control at these levels. Markets seem to agree in terms of this overall uptrend that seems to be comfortable with the current rate. When we're dealing with some volatility, they want to see the Fed make some adjustments, but in terms of price activity, still in this overall uptrend. Let's take a look at Russell 2000. We've got a move still into this to a supply. We're not at all-time highs. It's working that way, though. We're seeing a nice move here in small caps really in the last month or so. Just the last few weeks, we've got a real strong move to the upside in Russell 2000 names. USO trying to gather some steam for some upside here. We were holding this 50% range, now hovering at the 382, and it's holding that area. You're seeing a little bottoming tail bar on that green move. Could push up towards that 78 range. In oil, we have some compression and majority bullish at 14 for oil. Gold is also getting some momentum here, squeezing at the upper end of that range, but starting to press those highs, and we'll see if we get a breakout in gold. We've been talking about gold for quite some time, essentially just in this overall upper playground, and has yet to really get another breakout, or even any kind of a move to the downside. Nobody interested in selling gold right here at these levels. You are seeing that weekly time frame starting to round off, starting to flatten a little bit. This is pretty unprecedented move. When we see this, it's just it doesn't last forever. That's one of the themes that we just have to remember when we're talking about powerful trends like this, is once we get really wide expansion towards the upper end of those rallies, they just don't last. Okay, and so we could get some consolidation right here in gold, and that could last a while, and we could get a little euphoric move to the upside, but be very aware of where gold is at currently based on just the expansion of trend. Dollar weakening, that overall trend continuing to happen here as well. 2-year Treasuries 363 this morning, and overall majority bearish on the weekly and the daily time frame. And the 10-year also 423, holding that majority bearish on the daily, and 7 and 7 neutral here, just compressing towards the upper end of that trend. Still a pretty bullish pattern, but just holding right steady in that overall range. A couple stock ideas to consider today. LAR, Lithium, name. Big move here, $3 stock, back into momentum, increasing volume the last couple of days here. Also saw CIEN, big confirmation bar in the networking space. Let me grab this swing low point here, bouncing off that 236 location and connecting to a new high within this time frame from April. That's CIN. I've got about 25 names in that list. If you want more information on the screen criteria and setting that up in your TradingView account and getting that all so that you can focus on some of these other names as well, there's descriptions in the there's links in the description of the video. That'll do it for today's update. Everyone have a great day and a fantastic weekend.